Welcome back to the Fragrance Fraternity, everybody. Thanks for being here. Another day, another opportunity to be smelling absolutely fantastic. And summer is just right around the corner, so I figured it is time for me to make a summer fragrance list for everybody. And I thought I'd do this early enough to where it gives you some time to, do your research, make sure that you'd be interested in a certain fragrance, test it out, right? Because we all do our research before we buy these fragrances. We don't just impulse buy them, right? Right? Yeah, anyway, let's jump into it. We got one honorable mention, and this is called Hugo Reversed. Now, I cannot for the life of me make up in my mind if I like this fragrance or not, and I think the reason for that is that it's a little bit plain, it's a little bit boring to someone who has amassed a decent collection. So if you are just getting into fragrances and you're just testing the waters, I think this is a good one for a starting point or a jump off point to maybe see if wearing fragrances is something that you're interested in. But if you're watching this channel, more than likely you already have a couple, so this one's probably going to be one that you skip. I've heard that it kind of is a designer take on Elysium. Haven't smelled Elysium, so I can't comment on that, but it is a nice vetiver fragrance. It is refreshing. It is easygoing. It is something that is going to be inoffensive. So if you just want something that's going to be a dumb reach, something that you know is going to work, and I wouldn't expect too much crazy performance or anything great, but it's just a sort of an easygoing type of good entry point into fragrances. So Hugo Reversed for any newcomers potentially into the fragrance world that stumble across this video. Let's get started with the actual list with Banana Republic Metal Rain. Been really liking this one. Find myself reaching back for it time and time again. It has got some similarities to Creed Silver Mountain Water, so it's in that kind of realm of fragrance DNA, if you will. It has a little splash of Millésime Impérial in there as well. So very uplifting, very refreshing, very light, very airy, very summery, and very good for a beach vacation and going out to the pool, and maybe just something to really wear in the high summer heat. Gonna give you a nice, refreshing, airy type of feel with a little bit of that Millésime Impérial saltiness sprinkled in there. Good blend here, nice fragrance, slightly below average performance because it is so fresh, but who cares? You can just spray more or take a little decant with you, right? A lot of times we're wearing fragrances more so for ourselves, so performance. I could go a whole video into that, but whatever. Just know that it's slightly below average, I'd say. All right, our next one here is gonna be something, if you want something a little bit more mature, if you want to feel like a boss. Versace blue jeans, this is not going to be for everybody, but if you want something a little bit more old school, a little bit more mature, a little bit more masculine, a little bit more edgy, if you want to feel like Tony Soprano or The Godfather, maybe you try some blue jeans. You're going to get good performance here. You're going to get good longevity, inexpensive, classic, just a staple. And you're going to pull some heads for better or for worse with this one. It's going to be having some people that really love it and are really drawn to it. And it's going to have some people that can't stand it. But you know what? If you like it, that's the only thing that matters. So if you want to feel like an Italian mobster or The Godfather, Versace blue jeans is the way to go. Next one on the list is going to be from the house of Hollister. Hollister Festival Night. The best performing Hollister fragrance that I've personally tried. This is going to be better for summer nights, I would say, than days, because it is very strong and surprisingly powerful. This has a very prominent ginger note. So ginger is one note that works really well in men's fragrances. If you are aware of YSL L'Homme, the original, that was such a good, popular fragrance, sold so many bottles, and you can probably guess what the main note in there is. Ginger. So this has somewhat of a similarity to that. This one is definitely more youthful. It does come across more synthetic smelling. It is a Hollister fragrance, but for the price that you pay, the projection performance, the overall appealing scent profile that you get, I'm really enjoying this one. When I first tried this off, I kind of wrote it off as this kind of just smells like it's for teenagers and a little bit too young for me. I'm 28, so I was like, this is just a little too young for me. But I took some time off from it and I went back to it and I changed my opinion on it. I was like, you know what? I don't care that this is more youthful smelling. This is a great ginger fragrance without considering anything else. So If you don't have any ginger fragrances, or maybe you want to try out if ginger is something that you would really like in a fragrance, Festival Nite is a great place to start. You don't pay that much and you get a good performing fragrance. And this one, you unscrew the top to get to the atomizer, so a little bit different, no cap on that one. Next one on this list is going to be possibly the best tropical vacation fragrance that I know of, in the more affordable range, of course. Tommy Bahama St. Barts. Cool bottle. I like these half moon bottles. I could do without this little rope gimmicky thing, but I'll let it slide. So this one is an eau de cologne concentration, so just be aware of that. It's not gonna last all day long. You're gonna have to reapply it. You're gonna get a solid probably 2 hours out of it before it starts sitting closer to the skin. But for those 2 hours, you feel like you are swimming in a margarita. It is amazing. The stuff, the scent profile here is so tropical, so refreshing. Makes you feel like you're on a beach, makes you feel like you're on vacation, like you just opened up your hotel room and you just got to the hotel after a long day of traveling, and you have that feeling of, oh, finally we made it to paradise, we're here. That's what you get in a bottle with St. Barts. Kind of smells like a lemon sorbet, kind of has a tropical vibe to it. Really beautiful, strong smell. I prefer this one over St. Kitts. I think St. Kitts is really good, but I can hardly pick it up after like 5 minutes. It's so weak. This one is an eau de cologne, but it's strong enough to where I'm open to suggesting it for you guys, where I think it's worth actually getting, because it does smell so damn good. If they had a stronger version of this, I would get it immediately, because I love the scent profile of this one so much. Looking forward to wearing it in the summer. Excellent for the high heat. Yeah, unbeatable for the summer. All right, the next one is going to be the cheapest one on this list. And this might ruffle some feathers, this might catch some hate, but I don't care, because I like it. And if you like a fragrance, you should wear it no matter what anybody else thinks. Never wear a fragrance for anybody else unless maybe you're married or you got a girlfriend and you're doing it out of love for them. In that situation, I could see you doing that. But anyway, Paris Hilton For Men. This is probably one that you've come across in the rack store and you've glanced over it and you saw it and you're like, Paris Hilton, how good could that be? It's probably crap. And I am guilty, because I did that too, until I saw some YouTube reviewers talking about this, and I was like, you know what, screw it. This was $15 for this 100 ml. I'll check it out. Worst thing is I burned $15 and I can just throw it into my collection along with all the other stuff that I don't really touch, that just kind of sits there and collects dust. Which reminds me, try to only buy a fragrance if you think you're really going to use it, all right? You don't want buyer's remorse. Paris Hilton For Men is very aquatic. It's very refreshing. It's got a little bit of a tea vibe too, but it's not like a subdued tea. It's more of like a very watery pronounced tea. It's so appealing. It's really appealing. It's a little bit more youthful. It has a tiny bit of a sweetness, but mainly aquatic, floral, fresh. And you're gonna really stand out with this one, because it is a scent profile that I think has lost its popularity. So wearing this one is gonna make you stand out a little bit. Great price for how much you get, and compared to maybe like some of the other ultra cheap stuff out there, you know, I think like first thing that always comes to my mind is 360 Red. Everyone always says get 360 Red, it smells like Acre de Joe. I thought 360 Red smelled just like awful, very cheap, synthetic, a waste of money for me. But for this, which sits in that same price category, I choose this over 360 Red every day. Really enjoy it. Maybe you will too. Let me know if you have any more questions about this one. It's kind of hard to describe the way it smells, because it is so watery, aquatic, refreshing, just a little bit different and unique, really. Really enjoy Paris Hilton For Men. Don't sleep on that one. Okay, the next one is going to be a clone, and it's probably the wackiest looking bottle here, but I enjoy it. Lattafa Maahir Legacy. I like how that horse just like came in. This is a clone of Parfums de Marly Sedley, and it's a pretty good clone. You're gonna pay 1/10 of the price of Sedley, and you're gonna get pretty damn close. This one has good performance, good projection. It is a sweet, lemony, kind of a zingy vibe, citrus in the beginning, and then it settles down to the closest thing that I could compare it to besides Sedley would be Platinum Egoist, but a less mature Platinum Egoist and maybe like a fresher Platinum Egoist. I can't wear Platinum Egoist because that's the fragrance that my dad wears. So every time I smell it, I always think of him. But this one doesn't remind me enough of Platinum Egoist to where I can pull it off and wear it and enjoy it. So it really does remind me of Sedley. Great freshie. It's got some thickness to it. It's got some richness as far as a fresh fragrance goes, some depth, some maturity, and it does linger around on your skin and on your clothes for quite some time. Pretty cool bottle too. Some people are gonna think this is just tacky and weird, but I actually really like it. It's a little bit demonic when it's sitting in my corner and I just catch this horse looking at me from the side, giving me that evil stink eye. I like this one though. It's cool, man. It sticks out. It's like an art piece. All right, the next one on this list is gonna be Coach Blue. So I actually just reviewed this one, gave my first impressions on it, and I've been wearing it over the last couple days, and it's just grown on me more and more and more and more. I really enjoy this one. It's very fresh, very easygoing, very mass appealing, a great blind buy type of a fragrance. Look, if you're looking for something ultra complex and ultra unique and something that really stands out, this is not gonna be it, all right? Don't buy this expecting it to be unique or really different smelling. But if you're just looking for a really good fresh fragrance that you don't really have to think about, that you know is gonna work, Coach Blue is that. I would be surprised to find anybody that didn't like the way that this one smells. Just so fresh, so clean. Smells like you just took your shirt out of the dryer and you just finished a load of laundry and then you just put that shirt on. That's what this smells like. I wore this at the gym the other day and I just could not get enough of it. I've been really enjoying the sillage that this one creates. It's about average performance, but I paid, I think, $30 for this 2 fluid ounce. So at that price, I'm happy to pick it up and reapply it if I have to. I like the gradient bottle. All these Coach for Men fragrances are really good. You really can't go wrong with any of them in the line, but of the bunch, this is gonna be the most easygoing, easy to pull off. Coach Blue, perfect for the high heat, perfect for the summer. All right, just a couple more. Stick with me here. Man, this one is like, anytime anybody asks me for a recommendation of what would work in what fragrance would work for this situation, what fragrance would work for that situation, this one you can use in any situation. This could be my answer to everything. Missoni Wave, guys. Masoni freaking Wave. Do not sleep on Missoni Wave. It smells like Chanel Allure Sport / Versace Pour Homme. Of the three, I really prefer this one the most. If the Chanel Allure Sport had a little bit more performance, I would pick that one, but this one wins because it does perform better. I think this bottle is beautiful. You get a really strong magnetic cap with these Missoni fragrances. Aquatic, fresh, a little bit sporty, a nice lemony type of freshness. How else can I describe it? Just clean, ozonic, airy, but aquatic at the same time. Just lovely. I prefer this one way more than Missoni Parfum. People say that that one smells like Bleu de Chanel, and I had that one, I tried it, and I had to just sell it because I could not. That one was not for me. I was not feeling that one. Didn't really think it was that close to Bleu de Chanel. It just smelled like Gillette aftershave. If any of you have that Gillette, the blue aftershave, that's what Missoni Parfum smelled like to me, and I was not enjoying that. But this Missoni Wave is on a whole nother level. If I had to get rid of all my fragrances and I can only keep a couple, this is one that I would have a really hard time partying with and I'd probably have to keep. Just so much value that you get for what you pay here. Can't recommend this one enough. If you like fresh fragrances, if you're looking for a fresh fragrance for the summer that's affordable, yeah, Missoni Wave. No one can fault you for going with Missoni Wave. All right, 2 more. Next one is gonna be L1212 Blanc from Lacoste. This one is a little bit more unique. It is not gonna be for everybody. It does feature white florals, but I like it because it is unique. And I tend to go for stuff in my collection so it's not redundant. So I have like different scent profiles that I can smell, right? This one, very fresh, ultra fresh. This was a love at first sniff for me. It smells like a dryer sheet. Smells just so clean, very appealing. I feel like this is another one where it's either you love it or you hate it. And for me, I love it. Performance is average. And of the Lacoste fragrances, this is still my favorite one. This is the Eau de Toilette, and I've heard that the Eau de Parfum is even better. That's usually the one where fragrance YouTubers are recommending from this line. They're usually recommending the Eau de Parfum. I happen to come across the Eau de Toilette, so that's the one that I have, even though they did rebottle it and it looks like the bottle of the Eau de Parfum, which really confused me at first. But the Eau de Toilette is just fantastic as well if you happen across any of them in the L1212 white line. Beautiful white floral, beautiful citrus here. If you haven't really dabbled into white floral fragrances for men, I'd highly recommend that, especially if you like stuff that is maybe leans a little bit more youthful and or unisex. Try either this one or CK All. They kind of fit in the same category for me. Even though they don't smell the same, they fill the same space. Last one of the list. Thanks for watching all the way this far. If you have, you're one of the few and I really appreciate you. Davidoff Coolwater, Grapefruit and Sage. Sometimes less is more, and that's the case with Grapefruit and Sage. A couple of fingerprints there. Could have wiped that off before I started. Very herbal. My favorite herbal fragrance right now. If you want something that kind of smells like a tea, if you want something that has a similarity to the modern style of fragrances like Sauvage, this does not smell like Sauvage, but if you have Sauvage in your mind when you smell this, you're kind of going to understand. It's more so the fact that this has a modern scent profile, even though the ingredients are so simple. So imagine if you took Sauvage or Luna Rosa Carbon and you made it a very herbal fragrance, and you put herbal notes as the forefront to cover up the ambroxan. Instead of the lavender, you just have herbal type of a feel. That's the best way I can describe this one. Not so much grapefruit, mostly the sage. The sage is really what you're smelling. Maybe a little bit of the grapefruit in the opening, but the sage is beautiful. If you like the sage in YSLY EDP, the way that the sage comes across there, you get some similarities to the way that the sage comes across here. So another one that you can get at a good price. I think I paid like 25 bucks for this one and very happy with it. I find myself reaching for it time and time again. It straddles the line of youthful and mature right in the middle, so I think a really wide age range can pull this off, and really appealing, really great, easygoing, works in any situation, good for the gym, good for the office, good for the summer. All right, well, that's it. I think tomorrow I'm gonna do a list of maybe a little more expensive like designer summer fragrances, so just keep this rolling. Have a great day, everybody. I appreciate each and every single one of you who liked, commented, subscribed, shared, whatever, interacted with me. Let me know what is a fragrance that you are looking forward to wearing this summer. I'd love to hear and chat about it. Take care, everybody. I'll see you on the next one.